Whoa, 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 whoa. I was muted, I know. Hi, horses. Fighting Dr. K in real life, I actually was reading an email, an internal healthy gamer email about me. So, in a way, I was fighting Dr. K. What have you guys been saying? Can't wait for some randoms getting sent straight to therapy. Hell yeah. Leaked internal email, yeah. I'm gonna. I guess I'll read it at the end. I don't want to let Dr. K take over my whole thing here, but yeah, I'll read it at the end and then I'm going to post it on Twitter. Late again, I know, baby. I know. I did see Ralph's unfortunate events, and I wish him the speediest recovery, and I'm sorry that happened to him. It's horrible. I'm not one to joke about someone's misfortune. The Patreon stream was today, but I'm doing it every 2 weeks now, so there'll be another in 2 weeks. How am I feeling? I'm feeling angry. I'm angry about this Dr. K situation. I just feel pissed off about the whole thing. Yeah, skull fracture. Yeah, a skull fracture is no joke. Like, it's not like he got a black eye. I mean, even that I wouldn't be joking about, but like, fucking shit. I'm not gonna discuss the email yet. I will read it in like 2 hours. It's gonna start a whole thing. Reactions to the Dr. K Rectful conversations. I might make one video that's just straight facts reporting and one that's my reactions, or I might combine them. But yeah, I'll put them out. Booksmarts was running pro Dr. K propaganda. Oh, of course he was. Of course he was. Booksmarts is next after Dr. K. I'm gonna report Booksmarts to the fucking medical board. Has something. Yeah, Dr. K and his wife sent out an internal email about my stream. What's wrong with Dr. Don't fuck with me, Sock Rabbit. Don't fuck with me. What do you think about humiliating fetishes like cuckold or findom? Is that finance domination, or is it pronounced findom? I've never heard anybody say it out loud, actually. Um, I don't know. Sometimes being humiliated is fun. I understand it, but um, just make sure you're not engaging in self harm. You know. You really opened my eyes to that, dude. Thanks. You're welcome. Happy to help. You're gonna fight Dr. K's wife now? Yeah, I think so. I think she's I think she wrote the email, so I'm gonna fight Dr. K's wife. What date would you have a herpes talk? I would probably do it before the first date, honestly. I saw a lot of profiles on dating sites that would just mention it in their profile, and I mean, 25% of Americans have herpes, so it's like a lot of people have it. I don't know, but I guess not that many people know they have it. Maybe after the first date. Maybe AIDS is before the first date. Herpes is after the first date. So he finally stopped ignoring me. Yeah, he's not responding to me, but I rickrolled book smarts. Good, good job. Pronounced like a fish fin. Findom. Okay, cool shirt. I appreciate it. Do you think we have free will? I think free will. I've been asked this a couple times. I'd say free will is a lens through which you can look at things. So your experience is that you have free will, but like if you look at things through like a physics perspective, you don't, or like a external scientific perspective. I would say free will is the experience of making decisions, but uh, like on a cosmic scale, you can't actually make decisions. Your brain just does what it does. Speaking about book smarts, why didn't you like the video title thing? Because he just made it seem like the draw of the video is that maybe I'm a pedophile, or that I am. I don't call a video where we have a friendly interview attraction to children. It just feels, it felt like he was saying one thing to my face and then another behind my back. I felt like he was backstabbing me. Hello, horsies. Thank you for opening my eyes to pedophilia. You're welcome. This guy is a sick fuck. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard, buddy. What about oral herpes that isn't an outbreak? Well, you can still transmit herpes even if there's not an outbreak. And you can transmit oral herpes to someone's genitals. 25% is genital herpes, yes. Wait. Is that true? Herpes statistics. Genital herpes statistics. STI prevalence. 1 in 5 people in the US have an STI. Okay, so no. View the estimates. HPV. HSV2. 18.6 million existing infections. This is for adults and adolescents, age 15 plus. So 18.6 million. I don't know the math. I guess you could do it by age group. Yeah, I guess that's I don't know how many people in the U.S. are over 15, but that's I don't know. Yeah, it's probably like 8% or something. I don't know. He seriously took advantage of that guy who worked for Dr. K. How? You think so? He emailed me and asked me if I wanted to interview him, and I said yeah. It does. Their email makes it sound like he might lose his job, but I don't know. I don't think I took advantage of him. Well, I take advantage of every. When you interview somebody, you're taking advantage of them. So I guess I'm saying I didn't take extra advantage of him. Uh-oh. Why is my phone doing that? Let me silence this. Yeah, well, you take advantage of anybody anytime you interview them. Interviews are inherently shitty. Thoughts on circumcision? I'm against it. Dr. K is smart. He won't fall for low effort bait. Okay, well then we'll try some high effort bait. I don't need Dr. K to respond. I'm happy to say my piece without him. I just wanted to give him a chance to participate. Hello to Dr. K and or his legal team who may be watching the stream. Oh yeah, it didn't even occur to me. If you and or Mrs. K are watching, welcome. I wish you no personal ill will. It's just business. I feel pretty strongly personally about it, but I'm saying those personal feelings are on my end. They're not about your personal stuff. Can a horse even get herpes? I don't know. I really wish Dr. K would just talk to Mr. Girl and handle the situation in normal conversation. It won't be a normal conversation, and it will not be handled in a conversation. His mind tricks won't. His Jedi mind tricks won't work on me. I'm a Nubian. What's that guy? What's Watto? Is that his name? The little flappy dude with the big nose who's you can't do mind tricks on him. That's me. Guado? I can't remember. The video will drop within the next week or two. Within the next 2 weeks. That's my commitment. Probably about a week from today. It depends. I'm waiting on some experts to get back to me. I need expert testimony. because my reputation is not the greatest. If you guys didn't know. Okay. I'm entering a confessional in the Discord. They're called Jews, Max. No, they're called Nubians. This going after Dr. K just feels malicious. I know. But that's because Dr. K presents himself as a heroic, gentle victim child that needs to be placated and taken care of and coddled by his community. And so I hope that if well, people are making critical videos about me all the time. I hope you guys are not going into their chats and saying like, oh, why would anybody say anything bad about Mr. Girl? I have no idea. Oh my gosh, this is so malicious. They say bad things about me because I'm a fucking asshole and I'm crazy. And so when you hear somebody saying something bad about me, you can say, well, yeah, that's kind of true. Or that's completely true. Those are the two ways that you're allowed to defend me. The most offensive I want anybody to get of me is that is kind of true. And Dr. K has created a dynamic with his audience where they feel that they need to protect him. I do not want that. And I don't think it's healthy. Hey King. I'm alright. I'm alright. I'm getting ready to go to war. I think Slush's Dr. K video is pretty good. I think he went a little easy on him, though. I think he pulled his punches a little bit. And I'm not going to. Okay. We'll discuss this more after these calls. In 2 hours, I will read the Dr. K email and we will continue this Dr. K conversation for a bit. Some old woman offered me $500 to be her sugar baby. What do I do? For how long? $500 for like a week or two. It's more reasonable. I don't know if you've ever done sex work before. It can be kind of fun, but ultimately, it's pretty uncomfortable. And just my personal experience. Okay. Let's get into these calls. Baby, I'm ready. Hello. Hello.
Hey, how's it going, Max? You having a good day?
I'm having an okay day. I wouldn't say it's good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. My name's Augustus.
Nice to meet you, Augustus.
Nice to meet you too.
That's your real
Uh,
name?
what's that?
That's your real name?
No,
Okay.
it's a pen name. I do a lot of writing on this account,
Oh, okay.
which is what my advice portion of this is going to be about.
Okay.
A little bit of a ethics, morality question, but also a little bit of a business advice question. So I write smut and erotica for commission, just lots
Oh.
of porn.
Commission like individuals?
Yes, people. Yeah, people request me to write stories, whatever fetish, kinky stuff that they want me to write about, and I'll do 8,000 word stories or more.
Okay.
um, so my question is, one of the hot topics, something I get requested a lot,
Yeah.
is adult with underage or bestiality or just pretty what's the word? Not desirable things to talk about publicly. And I'm trying to figure
Taboo.
out, yeah,
Taboo.
taboo. Thank you. That's a great
Yeah.
word.
Yeah.
I am trying to figure out if I were to accept that. accept a commission for that? Am I causing a harm, or am I perpetuating something, or could it potentially be helpful? Like, am I writing would I be writing something that would be keeping someone from performing an action because they have the material to read?
Um, what are you asking? You're asking me to just guess. We don't know the answer to that.
Right.
That
Yeah,
depends on the person, right? Like,
right.
I'm
And
sure, I'm sure it could go either way.
yeah, 100%. Would I be irresponsible, do you think, if I did that?
I do things that are irresponsible.
Yeah.
So I would say yes. Well, do you think my content is irresponsible?
Um, I don't think so.
None of it?
Um, from what I've seen, I'm still pretty new to you. Um, I'm one
Uh,
of the guys that just recently hopped on whenever you had your first session with Destiny.
yeah, that's like 70% of everybody.
Right.
Um, I would say that a lot of art in general is pretty irresponsible.
Okay. Sure.
Not to, I mean, okay, okay, here's a question. Are there things that you would refuse to write because they're so
Yes.
irresponsible?
Oh, no, not because they're irresponsible, but
Just because you
because
don't
I have a
want to?
hard. Right. There are some things like I get requested to write gore stuff a lot, and I've tried to write that, and it just makes me feel weird writing that. I haven't tried writing underage stuff, so I don't know how that would make me feel if I were to actually write it. But um,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think I'm more concerned about your well being than your customers. I was just saying in the chat that sex work is like unpleasant, and what you're doing is it's mental sex work. It's not physical sex work, but you are a sex
right,
worker in a way.
sure, yeah, I accept that.
Um, so I guess I'm worried that you're going to couch your hesitations in maybe well placed self protectiveness in terms of responsibility. And then you're going to look to me and I'm going to say, well, artists should say whatever they want. That's what I do.
Right,
And then you're going to say, like, yeah, I'm being a prude. I shouldn't be such a pussy. I should just fucking do this. And then, like, what if you end up writing something that makes you feel really, like, I don't know, bad and like you're not even aware of it. I just think that you gotta look at how you feel. I'm not as worried about the impact of your writing on other people. I guess I feel like that's just it's part of the deal. Like anytime you pick up a book or a story or play a movie or whatever,
right,
um, on some way on some level it might fuck with you a little bit or a lot.
yeah.
Um,
I
I'm
haven't had. Well, sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I haven't had any thing that I've written. I mean, I wouldn't know, I guess, if what you're saying is any kind of like unseen effects, but I
Yeah,
have had
exactly. It might
visceral.
be something you're not like aware of.
Right. I have had stuff that I'm aware of. Like I said, with the gore, for example. Like I got like
Yeah,
really weird dark knots in my stomach trying to write stuff like that. Uh okay. So how would I go about figuring out, I guess, I don't know. Maybe maybe I'll try writing stuff just personally, not for commission, just to see how I feel about it. I don't know.
yeah, that's a good idea. And then you could always go to therapy.
I do actually have a therapist, yeah.
Well, that would be someone you could discuss this with, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
But so yeah, so I guess my instinct is make sure you're not ignoring concerns about your own well-being by pretending they're about someone else's well-being who you don't actually care about, because then you'll end up dismissing
Uh,
your concerns about your own well-being.
So I will say I do like one of the reasons, one of the things that got me into writing was that I have actually been told that by a few people, not a lot. I don't really particularly find my writing to be super great. I'm okay. Um, but I've been told that some of the stuff I've written has like helped people before. Um, uh, and that is something I genuinely enjoy, and that's one of the big driving forces for why I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's good. Um, that's a good feeling, but the feeling of getting someone off at your own psychological expense is not a great feeling.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that's fair.
I feel like we've all been involved in text, like sex conversations where like one
Yeah.
person is jerking off and the other and either someone's texting you asking you for nudes or you're asking someone else for nudes, and like
Yeah,
they're
sure.
not in the mood or they don't feel like it, and then it's like they'll find something else. Like, if you don't want to provide them with this, they'll find something else.
Right.
It's a valuable service, and I commend what you do, but at the same time, don't put their needs above yours. Or
Needed
if
to
you're
hear
going
that.
to, just be aware of it. I guess that's all I'm saying is
Right.
think about the implications for you. That's all.
That's fair. I appreciate that.
Uh, well, good.
Mm,
Is that it?
yeah, I guess so. I didn't expect it to be a very long conversation, so I apologize, but
It doesn't have to be a very long conversation. Okay. Well,
you're not going for that
converse.
big entertainment factor.
I think this was plenty entertaining. I am going for the entertainment factor, but I think we nailed it.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, great. Okay. Well, good luck with your smut.
Thanks. I appreciate
You're
that. You
welcome.
have a good one.
All right, you too. Um, what's good, Mr. G? Hey, meaty horned frog. Dark fiction can really help people with trauma, whether it be creating the content or consuming it. That guy reminded me of a story. When I was 19, I was dating this girl, and maybe I was like 20. And she was like, we were talking one day, and she was like, Max, I had the fucking best dream about you last night. She used to talk like that, or she still talks like that actually. And I was like, oh, what happened? She was like, we're in this room, and you were naked, and you're hanging from these hooks from the ceiling, and like I had this big knife, and I just like sliced you open, and your blood was just like dripping all over me. Like it was all over my fucking face. It was amazing. Okay. Baby, I'm ready for the next one. Oh,
Howdy.
whoa.
Hello,
Hey.
Mr. Girl.
Hey. How's
Huge,
it going?
huge fan, by the way.
Oh,
Huge,
yeah?
huge fan.
Nice.
I Kill Pedophiles is my favorite track ever in existence.
Wow. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Let me turn you off in Twitch real quick. Sorry, because there's echo.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
No. Oh, sorry about that. That's somebody else here. I'm going to a
Yeah, yeah.
private room.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so this is an advice and a confessional at the same time.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so how how to establish kind boundaries with a romantic partner you've sexually assaulted due to a misconception.
Okay.
And
Go
yes.
on.
Okay. Why are you laughing? I mean, I'm nervous too, just saying it aloud.
I'm not laughing because I'm nervous, but continue.
Okay, then. So, the context is this person has autism,
Okay.
and so the
So
face they make.
misconceptions, miscommunications can happen with somebody has autism.
Okay, so the face they make
Yeah.
when they're sexually aroused to a typical person
Right.
is their face of terror. Do-
Okay.
does that make sense? So,
Yeah, yeah.
like
So
any social.
you're saying that they
Uh,
have no way to express actual terror when they're aroused because it's the same face,
and even the
or
noises.
no nonverbal way. Okay, and the noises sound like terror.
Yes, and like I've like me and her have talked about it before, and essentially she did a sex embargo with me currently, and it's been going on for about 8 months.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's been a
Okay.
massive sex embargo. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
she still loves me. I love her. I like do what most men do. I only fap. What most loyal men do, which is just fap to only her image when I get frustrated.
hmm. Okay. I don't engage in that monk-like practice, but go on.
That's fair enough. I mean, like everyone's different.
Yeah.
I mean, like okay, so pretty
I mean,
much.
my girlfriend's in the mix. She's one of the horses on the merry-go-round. Don't get me wrong, but we
Oh,
we need got to run free. But go ahead. I understand what you're saying.
yes, I get. Yes.
Okay.
S- okay, let's see. So I got the confession part out. So it's really nice to say it. Thank you so much for hearing me out on that part.
You're welcome.
Okay. So I'm gonna start giving you raw data on times that I've pushed her boundaries without realizing it post assault, and
Okay.
okay, and perhaps you can give me some advice on it.
Can I ask you a couple questions?
Go for it.
How autistic is she
Um.
in terms of like functionality?
Okay. So I guess if I had to give her like a scale, she's
Yeah.
capable of getting an A+ in her algebra class.
Okay. Next question. Have you thought about safe words?
Um,
It seems like
well,
if the nonverbal communication is not an option, then wouldn't going to more explicit verbal communication make sense?
yes, like logically speaking, that's something I've been considerate of. But the thing with her is that just bringing the topic up hurts her due to the fact that she's had a history of sexual assault. So to
Bringing the
bring the
topic
topic up,
of the topic of sex up at all.
yes, so just to bring it up hurts her feelings. A- And I hadn't realized this until one day when I had made like, okay, so I have toilet South Park humor, right? So, I make cunt jokes, dick jokes, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes I am inconsiderate and I make a penis joke, and that gives her PTSD. From what I assume, I don't know, but she brought it up one day and told me, "Hey, could you like stop with these types of jokes because they're like triggering something inside of me and it
Mm-hmm.
hurts a lot." And so, I stopped those types of jokes. and I've been doing more wholesome jokes, more dad jokes. You know, basically just reverting back to my Jesuit roots. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what are you asking me exactly?
I guess what I'm asking you is, well, well, I'm going to be bold and just tell you something. I'm actually demanding something of you right now.
Okay.
If I give you raw data, could you just like perhaps take it in and say, yeah, that's fucked up. Perhaps do more of this. And I think we're doing that more. And I greatly appreciate it.
I don't think so. I think that this is too complex with too many moving parts, with a vulnerable person involved, and you yourself seem a bit vulnerable, and it's like you're. My concern is that I'm going to get a confusing, incomplete story, and then push you in some direction. Uh, there's just too many things that can go wrong with you
That's
asking for
respectable.
advice about this.
That's respectable.
I
I
don't
can
think I can give you.
understand that.
Yeah, I don't think I can give you advice except that you should try going to therapy.
I don't. Oh
Oh, you
man,
do. You do. You should go. I think you need
I don't.
therapy.
I don't really believe in therapy though.
Why not?
Um, this is gonna sound arrogant, but I
Yeah.
think anything that I have inside of myself that is fucked up, I've already addressed at some point in my life.
Yeah.
And the only thing I need to practice is consciously restraining any forms of projection onto people that I want to be with and love.
So the only thing you need to do to survive through your life is repress your emotions. Is that what you're saying? And you
To
want me
some
to
extent,
you want me to
to,
believe that you don't need therapy?
uh, well, yes,
Well, I
I'm a
don't. I
Chad.
think well, maybe being a Chad is all the time is not the best or most ideal way to go through life. It sounds lonely. So maybe there are ways that you can be emotional and be close with other people at the same time. And
Um,
maybe the feeling that everyone else is like a fragile person with autism who's going to be hurt by what's inside you is not just about this one relationship. Maybe you feel that way in general. Maybe you felt this way for a long time, and maybe you should talk about this with a therapist.
uh, okay, well, that's a
Maybe
valid point.
maybe you have found a relationship that confirms your existing feeling about relationships, and that what is inside you, especially negative emotions or primal urges like anger and sex, maybe you have found a relationship that confirms your fear or plays out your fear that these things are hurtful and triggering to other people. Maybe they don't have to be. Maybe you can find a therapist who can sit with these things with you.
I can understand the concept of integrating your shadow in to your life via practical means. That's very respectable.
Thank you. But every
Oh,
person is like an iceberg. I'm saying that you are.
you don't believe in meditation, right?
Uh, I don't know what you mean.
Like,
Meditation, I believe, in the way you are bringing it up, I believe that meditation is a way to control and maybe even
no,
suppress your emotions.
no, it's not. No, it's not. That's Zen Buddhism.
Okay.
There's like there's different types of Buddhism. The I'm not a Buddhist myself, but the school that subscribe to, or that
Yeah.
I like, yeah, I like to nitpick, is basically where you sit down in a room and
Yeah.
instead of repressing, you just let yourself feel everything, every single dark emotion, everything that's fucked up. You let it just fill your whole body up until your eyes feel like they're about to burst from everything. And then you breathe. And you realize you can feel those awful things and still exist in this reality and not harm people. I
A, a
I don't really
therapist
subscribe to.
a therapist can help you do those things when you're with other people, so that
I
you don't
don't
have to have your like emotion dumping when you're alone. You would be able to be, I'm not saying be completely uninhibited the way you are when you're alone, but maybe be more expressive.
I I have had therapy before, and my experience with it is that anything you've done and had with me is something I can do with myself.
Yeah, I hear that.
L- Like like I had would you mind if I tell you a personal anecdote about my life if it's fine with you?
um I want to be careful about what you divulge to me, actually.
Okay. It's nothing too serious,
Well,
but it's
okay.
something that would mess your head up.
um Look, I don't think we should continue. I think that I there's nothing you can tell me that's going to change my advice, and there's nothing you can tell me that's going to make me want to go into this more specifically. So, I think
Understood.
we should I think we should stop here. I wish you the
Okay.
best, and I do think therapy for one or both of you would be the best plan here.
One already
But I
has therapy.
well then for you. That's my final ruling. I appreciate you calling in.
Okay, well, thank you for the conversation.
You're welcome.
Please release more songs.
I will. It's coming.
Ciao.
Ciao. A therapist would listen to this story, my caller friend. Yes, a therapist would listen to that story. They would have to. New Mr. Girl album when? I don't know. I'm not going to do album release dates anymore. I'm just going to make songs, and when I have some songs to release, I will release them. I don't want to put pressure on myself. How does one join this panel? Um, you mean call in? You can join the Discord and then write in the Ask to Speak channel. And then there's like a line. You gotta get in the line. Thanks for hearing me out about my smut. Let me know if you want a story. It's on the house. Wow. I want a story about book smarts. No, I don't want a story. I don't want to mix business and pleasure. I don't engage in sexual interactions with associates through the channel. He needs a healthy gamer coach. Yeah. The show really feels different now with the Dr. K plotline running. Yeah. Well, it's good. It's good to complexity is good. There's a lot going on. Isn't what you're doing similar to healthy gamer coaching? Yeah, there's a lot of similarities. There is. Absolutely. I don't call myself a doctor, and I'm not a doctor, but I'm wearing a button-down shirt. Talking about people's feelings. Yeah. Maybe Mr. Girl will be the true villain in the Dr. K arc. Well, evil is a point of view. So it isn't a meme, you really are just exploiting your callers for money? Yes. What are you talking about? I mean, like I want to help people. I want my content to help people. I do. That's why I do it. If I just wanted money, I would I would do something else. I would use my superior intellect to start some kind of business or be like a stock finance guy or something. I don't fucking know. Um, but I want to help people. That feels like my core mission in life, my dharma, if you will. I want to help people empathize with each other and themselves, and I want money. And I need money in order to do that. Most of the money I make, I spend on the channel. All this shit is fucking expensive as hell. And I want money to just spend on myself. I actually, I don't know if that's true. Most of the shit I like is just channel shit. I'm like a workaholic. What do I want to spend money on? I don't like vacations that much. I kind of want a Cybertruck. But most of why I want a Cybertruck is so I can use it to move channel shit around, so I can make stuff and film myself driving around in the Cybertruck and show it to you guys. I don't know. I don't know. I want money. I want power. Yes, yes. I'm exploiting my callers for money. Yes. Yes. I want your blood. I want to masturbate with your blood. Baby, I'm ready for the next caller.
Um, hello.
Hello.
Sorry, that was pretty funny.
Oh, thank you.
Uh,
I'm just joking.
yeah, I know,
Okay.
I know. It's, I'll give you my blood though. Don't worry.
Okay. So what's going on?
Okay, so I've had a realization since I decided I wanted to come on here and talk. I originally wanted to, I guess, give a confession slash ask for advice about, I guess my relationship with my brother and some stuff that happened when I was like little, right? But
Okay.
as I thought about it longer and more, I realized lately that I've been pretty angry about some pretty benign things. Um, and I asked myself, why am I so angry? I wasn't always angry. I wasn't an angry person. Uh, and not like an explosive like anger either. Just kind of like, damn, that kind of pisses me off. Um,
Okay.
so then I realized like I don't I really don't have a lot of empathy for people. So when I see things that these things that are making me angry, it's like I'm not showing any kind of empathy for them, I suppose. Okay. Um
Um.
go
Okay.
ahead.
I have multiple disagreements with what you're saying so far.
Okay.
Do you want to continue though?
Sure. Yeah. But so I used to be I feel like I used to be very empathetic. Um I would go out of my way to help people, and I would be very perceptive when people are like, I can tell when somebody's not like feeling like 100% themselves or feeling happy. It's just kind of like you can just kind of see it written on their face when something this awful happened to them. Um, but I think over the last like 2 or 3 years that I've kind of lost that. I wouldn't say I've lost that ability, but I just don't care as much anymore. I'm more angry than anything. Um, uh, and I think it stems from kind of the time when I kind of decided that I was gonna like cut my brother kind of like out of my life and stop feeling any empathy towards him. Um, because I just feel like that was something that I had to do. But okay, but you can I can go on, but if you have any questions or you want to tell me what you disagree with.
Okay, so yeah, my problems were I don't really believe in auditing emotions in the way that you are, where I think emotions no emotion makes any sense. Emotions are not logical. So then when you try to apply a logical framework to it and say like how angry should I be? It's like well, ideally no one would be angry. Anger is unpleasant, so no one should ever be angry. Like if somebody like comes up to me on the street and starts like touching my face or something like that they're breaking my boundaries, right? And that probably make me angry. But I don't need to be angry to hold the boundary. I can just be like, "Hey, stop touching my face." Like anger serves like an evolutionary purpose, I guess, but it's not like a fun feeling to have, and it doesn't really bring about positive outcomes that you couldn't bring about without it. So to me, anger is just it's a feeling. It's just something that happens, and it just exists, and it happens to all of us. So if you can kind of gaslight yourself by asking yourself like, is this a proportional emotional response to anything? Because the answer is it never is. It doesn't. It never makes sense. You could ask if it's like a common emotional response. I'm much more in favor of just taking your feelings as a given. You feel how you feel, and then after you can like once you accept that that's how you're feeling, it's a lot easier to try to figure out why you're feeling that way. And so if the things you're ascribing it to seem like they don't account for all of it, then yeah, maybe there's more. But I'm just a little worried about the approach of like saying your feelings don't make sense rather than saying like you just don't understand it exactly.
Mm, okay. Um, yeah, I can understand that. It's never
Uh,
going to seem like my response is proportional. But what if it's like so far on the other end? So like for example,
but I don't
um,
even believe in there being an end.
okay,
I just don't. I reject the way you are framing it altogether. I would say you are angry for a reason. You just might not know what it is. It might
e
not be the thing that sets you off, and it might not be the thing that you are thinking about when you're angry. But you are
right,
angry for a reason. Your anger is real.
okay,
And thinking that it might not be real, um, I think is confusing. The rest of what you said about setting boundaries with your brother and having to cut off some of the loving parts of your relationship with him in order to protect yourself for whatever reason you did. Yeah, that makes sense. I can see why that would leave you having trouble like connecting to some other feelings with other people and with yourself.
yeah. It feels like ever since I've done that, it's kind of it wasn't just I think at the time it felt like I was only doing that for my brother, but then a year or two after that, it feels like I do that for a lot of people, even stranger, even people I don't know, even people I just hear stories about, where it's like I don't know, they did something stupid. And I'm like, oh my God, that fucking idiot. Why would they ever do that? Right. And it's like, I don't care if something like sad happened to them. It's like, why would they put themselves in that situation? I, you know, so that's just kind of how I react to things lately. And I don't,
Well, I think if you have felt guilt tripped or manipulated through your life, then a kind of fast reflexive self protection could be just like cutting yourself off of feeling bad from other people. If you feel like that's been used as a Trojan horse to push you around.
yeah, yeah, it has a little bit. I used to be like, for my closest friends in high school, I was always kind of like the emotional dumpster where I would just be the one to
Yeah.
listen to everybody's problems and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I have had that experience too, and I think that if you cannot listen to somebody's problems to understand their pain and also set boundaries with them and still be able to say no to them,
Yeah.
if you're going to be pushed over by feeling their feelings or feeling your feelings about their feelings, then it makes sense that you'd want to just shut it down.
Okay.
But it sounds like it would be better for you to um, go to therapy and enter a emotional relationship with somebody who can teach you how to have feelings and set boundaries at the same time.
Okay.
Like that's a huge part of therapy is
Yeah.
um, learning to do both of those. Yeah.
Okay. Um.
You're
Okay.
not a sociopath. You're just guarded. You're just
I, d-
protect.
I
You're just
yeah.
protecting yourself.
Yeah. No, I don't think I'm a sociopath.
I know you don't think that. I'm just saying like
Yeah.
you're it seems like you're worried that you're like shutting down, but you're and like you are a little bit, but like I I don't think it's permanent. I just think it's a defense mechanism.
It could. Yeah. It makes sense that it is. I just. So okay. Let's say. I don't know. If let's can we talk about my relationship with my brother?
Yeah.
Okay. So. uh. Have you ever seen the butterfly effect?
Yeah.
Do you like the original one with Ashton Kutcher?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you aware of like the alternate endings?
Yeah.
Okay, well, for anybody who doesn't know, there's an alternate ending to that movie where the kid playing or Ashton Kutcher, he like goes back in time and stops himself from being born, right? And then it does like a quick montage and like everybody's life is just better since
Yeah.
he wasn't born. I wish I could do that, but for my brother. So,
Okay. I um okay. So this is another topic for therapy.
okay.
I suspect there is a scapegoating narrative in your family about your brother, and where bad feelings between other members of the family are being redirected to your brother, and you believing that everything would be better without him is probably an oversimplification of of more complex feelings about other relationships that also make you feel very guilty and are also probably contributing to you wanting to shut down. I don't know what they are, and I don't know, and I don't even know if what I'm saying is true. But I would look there.
Okay.
I would look in the places where you are not looking. So when you say, "I think everything would be better if my brother had never been born," that tells me you spent all this time thinking about your brother and focusing on your brother. My instinct is that significant pieces of this lay elsewhere,
Mm.
and that you are
I don't.
going to be very resistant to that idea. Also, I know
Yeah. He's kind of a giant piece of shit, though.
that's
He
I hear
that
you.
that's
I, I hear you. I understand, and
yeah.
um, I am not going to try to take that narrative away from you right now. But
Okay.
I would check it out in therapy,
Okay. That's fair.
in the safety of a therapist's office.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I have been to therapy before, but I haven't talked about this stuff. But it was very helpful. It helped me to resolve other issues I was having in my life. So
Well, I
when he
think
tells
it'll
you to
help
go to
you
therapy,
resolve.
people, yeah, you should listen.
Absolutely.
I
Lead by
agree.
example.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I should probably just go to a therapist again. All
Yeah.
right.
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate
You're
your time.
welcome. I appreciate your blood.
Anytime.
Thanks. All right. Bye.
Bye.
No, it's not paused. I'm just sitting completely still thinking. I wasn't doing that on purpose either. I was just reading chat and thinking about what just happened. I am considering doing this talk session with you. How would I do that? Join the Discord and tell the mods in the Ask to Speak channel. You took my chat over at it. Go ahead. Would you also say the brother is a scapegoat if he is violently autistic? Yeah. The scapegoating does not mean somebody who has not done anything wrong or bad. It means that we all do bad things. And scapegoating is when you explain the entire family dynamic as a result of one person's actions. Usually, a person who does not have that much power in the family dynamic. It's almost never a parent that gets scapegoated. It's usually one of the kids, and it's usually the parents doing the scapegoating. And I think I mentioned this before. You all can also call it the identified patient. So then the family believes if that person could just get it together, then everybody else's problems would be solved. But usually, in my experience, and yeah, in my experience, I just think this. I just think usually that is a excuse or reason to ignore all of the other problems, but between in other relationships that people are not ready to address. You have to provoke them so there's a reasonable justification. Yeah, true. The scapegoat is also usually can't win because they're getting needled, and then if they snap, then it's like see, and if they don't snap, then they're getting stuff like kind of shoveled. I'm the scapegoat in my family, or I was. I left because I didn't want to be. Everyone's childhood sucks dick usually. Yeah. Oh, the thing I said just happened to lie on the street. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were talking to me actually. No, you buy a mace and use it on someone in public. You have to provoke them. Wait, are you talking about provoking people so you can mace them? But anyway, yeah, it lined up. Okay. Uh, baby. I'm ready for the next caller.
Hey,
Hello?
how's it?
Hey.
How was your weekend?
It's okay. How's yours?
I'm pretty chill and relaxing.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess I wanted to share an experience I had with a ex-girlfriend from last year. Um, More like, I guess it's a confession and kind of advice as well. Just wanted to share it and bounce it off you, how I feel about it, like any questions or emotions that you might feel about it as well.
Okay.
It has to do with the spectrum of consent, I guess, would be the closest thing. I just watched one of your videos a while ago, and you talked about something you did with like that one girl from Tinder or whatever. Kind of made me think about my experience and how maybe I don't understand or haven't processed it in the way that I thought I have, and just kind of want to get it out of my system. And I haven't told any friends or family because I don't feel like I can. So what better way to get it out than a bunch of people on the internet, right?
Maybe.
Maybe,
Probably therapy would be a better way. Now that you're asking.
maybe. But yeah, I'll just share it anyways. Maybe it's interesting, maybe it's not. But I guess before I start, I just want to say I'm happy that you're doing this full time now. It's pretty cool, and it's refreshing to see someone so candid in the online sphere.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so I'll try to keep it short without rambling too much. So last year, I was dating pretty actively. I'm 28 and this girl is 24, so a little bit younger than me, but I feel like we were on the same level of maturity and life experience. Um, so yeah, it was about 4 dates in when the event happened, which I'll get to. Um, I don't know, I guess let's go like a date at a time or something. I get first one was pretty normal. We just went for a walk and got to know each other a bit. Nothing spectacular. Second date was just a like at a restaurant, and then by the end of that, I kissed her, and we started to make more of a connection. Started to talk more. The third date, we went for another walk and hung out at a beach for a day. We got to know each other a lot more because it was like probably 4 or 5 hours on the beach. And then later that night, we went like to finish the day. We did like a lap around this park slash beach. It took like an hour, and I was getting to know her more. She seemed like a quiet girl, um, like pretty shy, like but not like cripplingly shy, where I had to initiate all conversation, and that it was just probably putting in a bit more effort than usual. By the end of it, like I could sense something was a little off. Um, Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I was asking her what's wrong because like I could sense something was a little off. Like she wasn't, like her mood was just a little dampened, I guess, not like that enthusiastic. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not gonna get angry about it or whatever. And then she kind of opens up to me about um this darkness following her around and just like general depression stuff. And like I understand because I also have depression. It's not like foreign to me or like it doesn't scare me off or anything. I think she was a little worried that it was going to scare me off. Um, and like I did talk about to another friend about it, like if I should continue on in this relationship because like my last one, it was like managing a lot of their emotions while trying to deal with my own, just like a lot of stuff, you know. So I try not to overthink it and judge her too much. Like, okay, maybe like she has a bit of depression, like so do I. Like, who am I to be so cruel about it? So I'll just give it a chance. Like, and then the date ended, and like still talking. This is like we've known each other for about a month now. Um, haven't had sex yet, just like kissing and all that. And for the for how shy she was, I was surprised. She just straight up invited me over for the fourth date. This is like 4 weeks in. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, let's make dinner, watch a movie, whatever. Like, at this point, when like someone asks you over in like a relationship, you know that you're probably gonna have sex for the first time, right? It's just like implied. And I was just a little taken aback by it because she was like pretty shy. I've been with girls that are like way more forward, like having sex on the first date or whatever, and it's like you can kind of tell. So it took me off a little bit. I'm like, okay, yeah. So we just like go through it the night, have dinner, watch a funny movie, and then I'm not gonna share like I will show details here, but nothing that I think will be too like crazy for stream, but just stop me.
I mean, you don't even have to share details. I think just
Yeah,
you can give us a general, vague picture of what happened.
sure. Um, so I need some water. So, I guess by the time we were finished watching the movie, we were like giving each other back rubs or whatever, and I don't know, I just felt like this is where we were connecting more ear started talking when the movie ended. And then, yeah, I just started making out. I obviously took off all her clothes. I ate her out. And this is about the time we were gonna get up and go to the bed to do the deed. And she opened up to me about being raped or sexually assaulted in her past. Um, I don't, she didn't share enough that it was like a violent thing. Like from what I gathered, I don't think it was violent. I think some guy just took advantage of her when she was drunk and she didn't know how to say no. Or at least that's what I assume because she seemed like not a very assertive person to like set up boundaries or say no and it, but I don't know exactly what happened, but I didn't press her on it. Um, so yeah, it's kind of, and that tied into her depression, I guess, too, and how she felt about like that darkness following her around. So we sat there for a bit. This is like I went to lead her towards the bed. Like I stood up and like grabbed her hand and like looked in her eyes and like it's like okay, we're having sex now. Like that's what the communication was. And then she like opened up into me. I guess she was like nervous that I wasn't gonna accept her or um like maybe like this is her first sexual experience, I think, since that happened. It was like about 8 or 10 months, I think she said, when she was last with someone. So she was nervous and she wanted to like I guess disclose why she was like, hey, this happened to me. Like I understand and everything. And I guess this is where the like consent kind of spectrum thing comes in because where I'm feeling a bit of incongruence in myself
Okay.
because so we sat there for 5 minutes after she opened up and I listened to everything she said and I held her hand and I just sat there and like reaffirmed her like hey it's like I'm sorry this happened to you it's not your fault I understand if you don't want to like if you don't want to have sex tonight or you want to wait like I'm fine with it like I'm not in a rush like it's not a big deal to me so we sat there for 5 minutes and I just gave her space. We were just like laying in the bed and just like kind of, I guess, processing or whatever. And I didn't want to like make her make a decision or whatever. Like I don't think I came off like that. But I was asking her like after those few minutes, it seemed like she wasn't any closer to saying anything. Like she's very tense and locked up. And I'm like, okay, do you like we can go to bed right now and it's fine with me, or watch another movie or whatever you want to do. Like we don't have to do anything. And like I'm like, she didn't give me an answer to that. So I feel I shouldn't have said this, but I'm like it feels like the power should have been in her hands to either say yes or no. But I had to ask or felt like I had to, which made me feel a little dirty, you know? Like I feel a little like
Wait. Is that, are you saying that you said we don't have to have sex if you don't want to, and then she didn't respond?
yeah, like her she kind of we were just laying in bed and I was like holding her and she wasn't really
She didn't
like
respond.
it felt like she wasn't gonna say anything unless I
Okay.
said something.
Okay, so then what did you say?
No, I asked her, I'm like, do you want to try? And like it's fine if we don't and we can stop if you're like uncomfortable or if you're feeling like you're not ready.
Okay.
And
And
she looked at me and she shook her head yes. It wasn't like an enthusiastic vocal yes, it was just Like
Okay.
look at me, and she like I looked in her eyes, and it's like I could sense like maybe she was like a little scared, and it felt like maybe she's looking me to guide her through, and that it's okay. Like I'm not like that last person. Like I'm not gonna hurt her or rape her or anything like that. And like I told her, look, we can just if we want to stop, just say stop, and that's it. Like there's no, you don't need to feel bad or guilty. So
Okay.
without getting into the details of the sex, besides this one, um,
Yeah.
we had sex for like about half an hour. I was checking in with her quite a bit, like stopping in between positions and that kind of stuff. Just like ask her like, hey, how are you feeling? Like, is this okay? Like being vocal and just like letting her know like it's like I want this experience to be good for you because I know this like your last one was awful. And it might sound kind of crappy by me, but like the sex I've had way better sex before. Like it I was definitely putting in more of the work, and I don't mean to say that like to sound like a dick, but it was like she was just kind of lying there and not too into it, or maybe not as experienced as me.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not too sure. There was like some points, like every time I checked in, she was like, "Yes, it's fine," and that, but like not enthusiastically. And then that by the end, like there was points where like she was more into it, and she was like grinding on me, and like starting to give me a bit like she's warming up and opening up a bit more. But
Hmm.
it wasn't like in contrast to what was going on before. It's like it's not much of a affirmation, you know.
Yeah.
So when we were done, and like the next day and like the following times after that, I felt like it feels, for lack of better language, it feels like I did rape her in a way, even though there was consent throughout and ongoing, but I still felt off. Like it felt like the most congruent or healthy thing to do would have been to when she opened up to me about her experience. Um, I should have just said no and like been like, okay, we're not gonna do anything tonight then. And like I should have just put my clothes back on and be like maybe done it the next time or whenever.
Okay. I have kind of a weird response to this.
Yeah, sure.
It sounds like you might feel like you got raped.
How so?
She put you in a really weird position. Um,
Okay, I never thought about that.
she invited you over, expecting sex, which is normal, as you said. I think that's a pretty reasonable expectation.
I don't think
Um,
maybe she expected it, but like, okay,
Motherfucker,
so
do you want? I
she
don't give a shit what she thought or felt. I don't care about
okay,
her. I'm talking about you.
yeah,
You expected sex.
yeah.
This is a reasonable expectation in American 28-year-old culture, I believe. Um, you expected sex. You were already having sex. Not intercourse, but you were already engaged in sexual activity. You were naked or ish and vulnerable, or on your way to being so, and you were on your way to the bed. Um, and she is like, you know what? I want to tell you about my rape now. And that put you in a position of feeling like, okay, am I? We've been. This is our fourth. So I understand if you need to disclose something, that's one thing. But disclosing that and then not being clear about what your role is, like the ball, she needs to put the ball back in your court, I think, to be fair to you and say like, I'm telling you this because I don't want to have sex, or I'm telling you this because I do, but I just want to explain why I'm gonna like act like scared during it.
Yeah.
She didn't really clarify that. When you asked for clarification, she didn't answer. Um, I I suspect that you at that point, part of the reason the sex was bad is maybe you didn't want to have sex anymore. And I think that you're in a weird position because even if you say you don't want to have sex, um, that's weird too. Then you're gonna feel like you're damaged goods, and I don't want to have sex with you because you're too fucked up. Which is your right to say, and like maybe you could like I think it's fair to just say to somebody like I don't want to have sex with you because you're airing out your trauma, and frankly I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it right now in this way. So let's talk about this more. Blah blah. There's a way to say no, but it sounds like you felt like you were stuck. And I'm not saying that she actually wronged you or that you were stuck literally. I'm just saying it sounds like you felt stuck between two bad options of having to be like, hey, that rape story you told me was a major dick wilter. Sorry, hun. Like maybe next time, maybe you'll be sexier next time and not tell me gross shit about your psychology, or having sex with somebody who acts like they're being raped while you're having sex with them. Like neither of those is a great situation. It's definitely not what you anticipated when you came over to our house. And it the way you're telling the story, like you're dreading the part where you get to the sex, like it sounds like you're like dragging your feet a little bit. And then
Yeah.
the way you talk about it just sounds like you were so horrified by the experience. Um,
I think it's more, I don't, I'm not sure how other people are going to react or you're going to react because it does feel like I did something wrong or
I know, but I'm suggesting that maybe that you feel like you did something wrong because you feel like something bad happened to you.
yeah. Um,
And I'm suggesting that I know you're not thinking that, but it might be worth exploring, thinking about the power dynamic where you are the one who is not in power. You are not getting clear messages or answers or clear boundaries from her, even while you're having sex. I think that, and I'm not saying that. It's not I'm saying it's her. I'm not saying it's her fault for not
yeah, yeah, I know.
providing that or not being able to provide that, but it is kind of fucking terrible. It's pretty awful to have sex with somebody who will not signal to you whether they consent to what is happening, even if you're asking them.
Yeah, well, it
And
wasn't like she wasn't saying anything. It was just like I had to coax an answer out a bit more. That's all.
well, being expected to coax. I mean, like you come
It
all the
was
way
because of
over
her
there, you have
shyness,
the
not
whole
because
bit.
she.
I don't give a fuck what she did or didn't do or thought or I'm not talking about her. Again, you're so quick to like um I'm talking about your experience of it.
Hmm.
And whether why she did what she did does not change the fact that you had an awful experience. And I feel
Yeah,
like
I
if
guess I
it
did.
I feel like if you and I'm not trying to change your frame of like who's responsible for what. I just think that it from the way you tell the story, it feels like you had a terrible experience. One where the next time you have sex with somebody, you're going to have to stop them and be like, "Hey, like I want to have sex with you, but I have to tell you about this fucking horrible thing that happened to me the last time I had sex. This fucking bitch was crazy. She would not. She acted like a corpse the entire time we were having sex. She wouldn't answer any of my questions. I had no idea what to do, and I had to live the next 8 months feeling like I raped her. Or no, that her thing was the 8 month gap. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You, you, you could very well be messed up by this in the same way that she feels messed up by the guy who raped her.
yeah, it made me
Um,
question myself for sure. Like,
I think it
to
also makes me
sum it
question
up,
her story.
it feels like so she is fundamentally shy and
You keep
a
saying
bit
that,
scarred from her last experience, and she was like opened
but
up because
it
she was
sounds
like
like her.
scared that
It sounds like she was like that in her last experience too.
Yeah, I'm probably.
right?
But she was like, maybe she opened up because she was scared that if she didn't tell me that we would have sex and I would be like judgmental that she wasn't very good.
Well, you were.
And
It didn't work. It made it worse.
well, I
It
mean,
backfired
yeah,
completely.
but it's not like during it I was thinking like, oh, this is so awful.
Yeah, I think
I
it
don't
was.
like this person because I did like her and like I was hoping
Did you?
for a longer relationship. It's not like I was just using her for sex. Like I could get sex from
Well, I
any
hope not,
other
because if you
Tinder
were,
date or
that would be
whatever.
very disappointing.
No, it's not. That's not very
I
important to
mean,
me.
because the sex was bad.
Yeah, like she was looking for me to kind of guide her through the sex, maybe, or like should just tell her that it's like okay and that I accept her. Maybe that's what
Yeah,
she was
it's
kind
not
of
that fun
expecting.
to guide somebody through a fight or
Yeah.
flight response when you're trying to fuck them
Like,
for the first time.
I guess that's why I felt guilty because right afterwards and the next day, I felt like the reason I felt icky, I guess, was because I rationalized it in my mind that, oh, like she is just like a damaged soul and like had this bad experience, and now I'm like the stable, experienced person that's gonna like kind of help guide her and heal her. And that was like the rationalization. And when I thought about that, I'm like, like maybe we shouldn't have done anything that night and just waited a bit longer. Like, did I
That's if you
push her?
accept the frame that your job is to heal her. If she had said, "Do you want on the fourth date? Do you want to come over to my house and heal me?" I feel like you probably would say no. She asked you to come over and fuck her. So fucking someone is not the
Yeah.
same as healing them. Healing can have there can be some aspect of healing in fucking, but that you're like no, my dick is not a magic wand. I am not coming over to try to heal your wounds. I am coming to fuck you. And I feel like
Okay.
you and her both feel like maybe your job is to fix her, and to fix something that can't really be fixed, and to fix something that please, let's. I think she was very. It was whatever is broken was broken before that last guy too.
Yeah. Well, I don't want
That's
to
what I think. I
be
don't think
too
she went from
judgmental.
being. It doesn't sound like she went from being a boundary setting, direct, forward, aggressive, like um, self advocating, strong person, and then this guy just like turned her into whatever she is now. I don't believe that.
Well, I guess what made me think of this a bit more, I got over it rather quickly. And then when you talked about that girl who is, I don't know how many stories you've brought up online, but the one with the Tinder date where she was on
Yeah.
top and like not really sure, and then you kind of just like,
Well,
um,
that's the story. Okay, she said I'm not ready, but I don't think that was not my. That's not my story. My story is she was sure. She just wanted me to do that.
okay, yeah, yeah, I believe you.
She seemed pretty sure.
That's what I mean. Like you, like
She was in her mid 40s.
like
She knew what
what
she
I'm
was getting
talking
into.
about is like there is that moment of limbo where like you have to make a choice and you're either make it happen or you back off, and it feels like that dividing line is either like the line between like okay, I'm glad it worked and we did have sex and like oh, I feel like an alpha male now because I made like the assertive move, and then the other line where it's like, maybe I shouldn't do that because if she wants to get like angry about it or interpret it in like a delusional way, or like, oh, this guy assaulted me. So it's like,
Are you scared?
sorry?
Are you scared of her?
No,
Like you're not scared that she's going to say that you raped her or something?
no, because she's not like one of those crazy girls.
Okay.
Like I know her well enough that I wasn't like worried
I was just
about
checking if
anything,
that's
and I
why
didn't
you
feel
if
like
that's why you brought
I
that up.
was doing. Yeah, yeah, I stay away from those kind of women and attract something more in tune with me. So yeah, that's it. Any other questions or
I don't think so. I think that's all I have to say about that.
All right. Well, thanks for letting me air it out. And
Go to therapy.
yeah, for sure. I'll probably bring it up with them.
Yes. I think this is yeah. I just think there's more going on than you feel guilty.
Yeah. Yeah, it stuck out among my.
There's a lot of weird power dynamics in that story.
Yeah, yeah, it's just I've had quite a few relationships, and like this is the only experience I've had that like stuck out in a uncomfortable way where like there wasn't like a I think most of the time there is like an answer to these things, and people just aren't willing to accept it. And I just like I'm pretty introspective, and I didn't I guess you brought up something that like maybe it's not like the ball wasn't only in my court, and that's
Yeah,
helpful. So thank you for that.
you're welcome.
All right, that's it. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Okay, you too.
Okay.
Bye. This reminded me of the video about a selective pressure for aggressive partners. Right, like anybody who is not going to push through her defense is going to be like this guy, just like kind of weirded out by the situation. So she's just going to end up with a string of people who don't care if she says no. Mr. Girl gives a pop psychology interpretation and gets triggered when the guest doesn't agree, but Dr. K is evil. What's so wrong with being triggered? People keep giving me this criticism that I'm triggered. Like, yeah, I'm a fucking emotionally unhinged child. Yes, I'm triggered. I get angry quickly and easily, and then I yell about it. So fucking what? What's wrong with getting mad? It's advice and confessions. We're here to talk about our feelings. I'm not allowed to get emotional. What's wrong with being emotional? Do you mean to tell people to see a psychologist or a psychiatrist? A psychologist. See a psychologist. That's what I'm saying. If the psychologist thinks you need medication, they will bump you up. What's the difference between a psychologist and a therapist? Therapists don't have to be psychologists. They can be licensed therapists. They can be social workers. I think there's a few different professions that can do therapy. A psychologist, I believe, is somebody who has a PhD or a PsyD degree. Let's see the definition though. Psychologist credentials. Typically, applicants have a doctor of psychology or psychologist, doctoral level, PhD, PsyD, or EDD. I think if you're doing therapy, usually you're a PhD or a PsyD. That's a doctorate level psychologist. The master's level, and then social worker, marriage and family therapist. Okay, here's a list of therapist credentials. I'll put it in the chat. You guys can read this at your leisure. The stream needs a relaxing jazz piano in the background. I'm gonna write some music for the stream, and Shaylin's working on a hand-drawn title card to play with some music that I will compose, and yeah, we'll get a mood going. He's always here giving literally the worst takes. Troll baiting. Wait, who's talking shit to me about being triggered? I asked that guy a question. Oh yeah, Parasocial Perry. Let's see if he responded. What do you think about Andrew Tate's take that depression isn't real? I don't know. I don't know more about his take there. I think you could frame it. I can understand why you would make that framing, but I am just imagining the rest of his point. I don't know what it is. Have you considered doing a conversation stream where you just talk? No. I like having an agenda. Have you ever watched The Sopranos? Oh, yeah, there's a lot of therapy in there. No, I would like, I'll talk to Shaylin about it. Do you have a salt lick in your bedroom? I actually don't. I don't. Will you talk to Chud Logic? He agrees with you on your points and debated against book smarts on the Dr. K topic yesterday. I don't know. I've talked to him before. I don't know what we would talk about if we just agree. I will watch that stream, though. I didn't know that happened. How do I get to ask a question at the end? I subbed today. If you donate, I read out the fucking PayPal donations at the end. Or if you remind me that you're the person that said this and at me, I'll read it. Are you good at Among Us? Depends on the kill timer. With a low kill timer, yeah, I'm pretty good. Oh, thanks, Cum Gremlin. Have you ever therapied yourself? You mean have I been to therapy? Yeah. I've been to therapy. I'm a big therapy guy. Pretty interested in my Dr. K video. Yeah, yeah, maybe after the video, I'll talk to him, see what he thinks about it. Further to my last point, I like depression as anger you haven't expressed. What my father told me when I was a kid is that depression is defending your parents. Actually, he said depression is defending your mother, but I realized he was defending himself when he framed it that way. So, yeah, your parents treat you in ways that you don't like, and if you can't accept that you are angry at them or hurt by them, and you convince yourself you deserve to be treated that way, then you will treat yourself that way and allow others to treat you that way and live a sad little existence, was what he taught me. And I grew up believing that, and I kind of still do believe that. I think it's a good way of thinking about depression. Also because it allows for a lot of solutions that you can. It gives you a lot of homework to do, and I like that. Will you do debate reviews? I don't think so. I don't think I want to play other people's videos on my channel. I've thought about it, but I don't really want to. You can sometimes compare people, Jordan P., Dr. K, Booksmarts, to your father. Don't you think the comparison could be used against you in your arguments, for example, with Dr. K? Look, if people want to make ad hominem discrediting arguments against me, I've given them plenty of ammo. I don't think adding any more fuel to the fire is going to be a problem. I would rather err on the side of transparency. So I think my content is best when I am emotionally honest about what I'm feeling, why I'm feeling it, what is driving me to do it. I think that me trying to do just very dry, straightforward, like this is blah, 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 doesn't work for me. I feel like I'm concealing something that is important for the audience to know. And you should take everything everybody says with a grain of salt. And so I like to I like to try to give you the salt to go with it so that you know, at least there's probably other discrediting things that hurt my argument and that you can figure out, but this is just what I know, so I'm trying to be as forthright as possible. How do you flirt? You stare at them and you don't say anything. That's how I flirt. Have you published any of your screenplays? No, I thought about it, though. I thought about putting them on the website. I think I might, but I don't know. I absolutely know that I hate my parents and I'm still depressed as fuck. It's just a way of thinking about it, you know? Go to therapy. I just got a crypto ad on top of you explaining what depression was, and I'm sad. I said depression is defending your terrible parents and convincing yourself that you deserve to be treated the way that you were so that you don't have to confront them. I'm not saying that I just straight up believe that, but I think it's a good way of thinking about it. Dr. K is a nice person. Why attack him? Because he's not. It might be nice, but niceness is not goodness. I don't think what he's doing is good. Are you planning on increasing your streaming hours? Or are you comfortable with your current weekly output? I don't know. That would depend on like requests I get and ideas I have. I don't want to stream just to stream. I want to stream when I have something to stream. When's your panel? I don't know. I asked the psychiatry subreddit if I can ask them to recruit psychiatrists because I'm reaching out to psychiatrists in a lot of different avenues. I'm trying to find ones that are like interested in being online. And this is part of why Dr. K is so popular. There ain't that many psychiatrists who are willing to go on social media. But the problem is no one's reporting on Dr. K, so none of them know this is happening. And they won't watch a fucking YouTube video or let me post one, or I don't think. So there's like a firewall that I have to get through to convince them that they need to come actually help sort this shit out. New caller, new blood. Okay. Okay. Favorite protein drink brand? Dimetize, chocolate brownie, or banana nut muffin. I don't know. It's been a while. Those are two that stick in my memory though. Okay. Baby, I'm ready. Pay for a therapist to try to recruit them to no. I could probably hire an expert consultant, but I don't have that kind of budget yet. Do I have Domino's today? No, that's Domino's is on Tuesday.
Hello.
Hello? Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm great. I'm here. I need some advice.
Okay.
I feel like I'm a really inauthentic person. Um, I've always been really introverted. Story of my life, I'm an introvert. But when I was young, I pushed myself really hard to learn to be outgoing and get along with people. And I like met all kinds of people, made all kinds of friends. You know, I went as far as like doing like improv comedy and theater and everything. And I think I did pretty good at it. But um, after a while, I started to feel like though I was good at relating to people, it felt really fake. Like I was just putting on a show all the time. And eventually I felt like I didn't really know how to be myself, or if there even was myself that could like interact with other people.
Yeah.
And eventually, like when I was, I don't know, in my 30s or something, I just sort of gradually lost interest in socializing because it felt fake and so it didn't feel rewarding, right? Connections with people felt really shallow. Friends drifted away. Um, and yeah, so that's kind of where I am now. And I feel like, um, well, when I saw you, you are, you know, a strange person who is, you seem extremely authentic, and you, you say things that make people uncomfortable, but you do it in a way that's really charismatic. And that kind of inspired me and made me think, because I thought maybe there's just no, maybe I'm just a loner. I just don't give a shit about people. But seeing you turning your sort of oddness, I don't know if you're an introvert. You seem more like an extrovert, but you do seem like an odd person who's found a way to take your oddness and use it to connect with people rather than isolate yourself. And I find that kind of inspiring. So I wanted to ask you, I don't know, what do you think of my situation?
Your situation being that you are charming but don't like being charming.
I don't know. I am I charming? Like I feel like I'm competent socially, but I don't get any reward from it. It just feels like a chore to interact with people, even if I'm doing good at it. And
What
I
if
think
part of
maybe that's because I'm not being myself with them. Like if I was
Yeah, I was gonna
myself, it
say
would
that
just come easily
part of
and it
being
would be
good at
rewarding.
interacting part of being good at interacting with people might mean you enjoying it, not just them enjoying it.
Yes. And I don't know how to enjoy it because it's always been a sort of chore for me.
Because you feel like you're not being yourself.
Yeah, I think maybe that I've just sort of learned, I sort of taught myself how to interact with people, but in a way that's just not being myself. That's just
Do you feel like you're um, pretending to be a certain other person, or do you feel like you are reading the person and then just trying to interact according to what you're picking up in real time?
if I'm pretending to be someone else, I don't know of any specific person, but
No,
I
no,
had a
no, no.
lot
I
of
just mean
people.
like, do you have a persona that you are putting on, or do you think that you're reacting more in real time?
Um, a persona, or am I reacting in real time? I try to react to people. I try to listen to them, and I notice myself like really sort of adapting to what they want me to be.
Okay, so it sounds like
And sometimes
reacting
I
in
go
real
back and
time.
say, why did I do that? Why did I act that way just because they sort of wanted me to?
Do you know the answer?
Well, probably because that's as I was growing up, that felt like the thing to do to be good at interacting with people, to just see what they wanted me to be and to be that. But then I realized no, charisma is not that simple. Um, if you want to be charismatic, you have to be the one influencing other people, or sort of you have to be yourself and show people something that surprises them or intrigues them. And if you just be what they expect you to be, then that's not going to be very interesting for them.
I'm much more boring in real life.
I don't believe you.
I don't mean like, I'm not saying I'm fake, but like, if like 1,000 people are watching me talk, I feel significant pressure to say interesting things that I do not feel when I'm just like talking to my friends.
Okay, well,
You
I
know,
mean,
I guess my point is like, you're comparing your comparison is unhealthy. You're comparing
but even
you.
if you only do this when you're in front of an audience, it's you, right? I can tell that it's you.
It's me, but I'm still trying to be interesting.
Hmm.
I'm being genuine, but I'm in a role where I'm entertaining.
So when I try to be interesting, I feel like I have to have some kind of thing prepared, some like really specific technical topic or something I can impress people with or something like that. And it seems like you can be
Wait,
interesting just by turning on your interesting switches, right?
um, I might be more willing to disturb or upset people. Okay, okay, I have a couple things to say. One, the comparison you're making is unhealthy because you are comparing my behavior as a streamer or as a YouTuber to your behavior in interpersonal interactions. And they're very
I'm
different
not
roles. Well,
I'm
you've
not saying
never
that I
seen me.
want to
You've
be
never
you.
let me fucking finish.
Sorry. Go ahead.
You've never seen me in normal life. In normal life, um, I I'm not like on. I don't have my interesting switch on. And sometimes I do, but I shouldn't. It's not like a good thing to behave like a streamer when you're just like hanging out with your friends. That's it's weird. And like people like that like go crazy, like Robin Williams, like the people who are always on. It's not good for you. So I don't know how desirable that is. It might be that you're trying to be too interesting and too charismatic. Two,
Okay.
my second point, which is coming at this from a different angle. Even among streamers, I would say I am more interesting than the average streamer, because the average streamer has puts a higher priority on making their audience comfortable, which is kind of boring, and making themselves look good, which is also boring, which is to make themselves comfortable. And a lot of times you have to choose, do you want to be comfortable and have everybody be comfortable, or do you want to be interesting? And most social media people, or maybe even most people in general in any role, tend to choose comfort over being interesting. And if the goal of the channel or your conversation or whatever is to be interesting, then I think that means that you need to let people be uncomfortable. Now, you may not want. I make people very uncomfortable. Um, I in my personal life, even like lots of times people will meet me, and within an hour of meeting me, they'll say to the person who introduced us, like, what the fuck, why did you put me through this? This is terrible. I don't want to talk to this guy ever again. I do make people freak out in my personal life, but it's different from being charismatic. I make people really uncomfortable, and I'm willing to make myself very uncomfortable. So it could be that you are trying to placate people more than you're trying to like interest them.
I think that could be true. I feel like I sort of my job to make people comfortable and not freak them out.
You got a very calming way of speaking.
Thank you.
I know I'm screaming, but I feel very calmed.
You're not screaming.
Well, I was.
Well, that's fine.
However,
So,
what?
okay.
Yeah. I see why you'd be unhappy if you feel like your job is to keep everybody from feeling anything, and keep them placated and calm. It's like you're babysitting. Like, yeah.
Sometimes when I get into an argument or something with someone, I always feel guilty afterwards. Like, why did I have to make that uncomfortable? I should make everyone, happy all the time.
Yeah. I just wouldn't use my content as like I'm glad it's raising these questions for you, but don't use it as a goal, because then you'll just, it's like my content is, I'm still entertaining, like you don't
I
want to
didn't mean
be.
to imply that I want to be like you on your stream. I just brought that up because
that worries
kind
me.
of sparked it just sparked the thing in my head. But
Well,
this is
I'm
something
glad.
I've always thought, right?
Okay,
This-
so you have to make people more uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's going to be very uncomfortable for you.
And it will, I assume, backfire most of the time.
I think you're still putting a really high priority on people liking you and having a calm time.
Every time I screw up with someone and do something cringy or something that seems rude, it stays with me forever.
Yeah, well, maybe that's because there's so few of them that they stand out more.
It could be.
If you start doing it regularly, they're not all going to stay with you forever.
It's an interesting way of thinking of it.
I don't see. Yeah, I think you're going to have to go swimming in the dark waters of causing other people intense discomfort, probably. Also, because you're so pent up. Like I think you're going to have to overshoot maybe, because probably the shit you want to say is like horrifying at this point because you've been holding it in for so long.
Like, horrifying. Why would it be horrifying?
Well, I'm assuming all of us have some stuff to say that is upsetting to other people, right? And but if we repress it for 30 plus years, um, it could be that there's quite a lot of it.
I don't I don't know what I'm repressing. It's not like I have like specific things that I want to say that I don't say.
Well, I don't mean
It's
like a
just that,
list. I just mean like I don't know, just some feelings.
but like I'm not sure what it is. Like what is my being myself? I don't know how to do that.
I don't
Even
know,
if I
but
was had the courage to just, horrify people, I'm not even sure what or why I would.
okay, but have you seen The Thing?
Yeah, Carpenter.
Yeah. Okay, so when you find something that's been encased in ice for like thousands of years or however long it was, I guess in the Carpenter's The Thing, it wasn't. Wait, yeah. The first team finds the thing encased in ice that's been there for like a really long time, right? You got to figure it's
Yeah.
like it's this thing, like we don't know what it is, but it seems like you've locked it away for a long time. It's like if it's worth isolating yourself completely, it's probably something pretty, like, I don't know, scary.
How do I find it?
Therapy. You know the
Of
answer to
course.
that. You know the answer to that.
I have been to therapy. I'll have several times, and it was
You're going to have a
not.
tough time in therapy though, because you're a people pleaser. So you're going to convince the therapist that they're doing a good job, and most people, including therapists, want to be convinced they're doing a good job.
I was. I don't. That's not really what happened. I just didn't find. I went in there wanting to be like challenged and to be made uncomfortable, and
Yeah.
I couldn't seem to. It didn't. It wasn't happening. And I didn't know how to make it happen.
So then what happened?
Therapist was just seemed like the therapist was just really being really boring and just asking me really generic stuff and
Did you talk to them about that?
no,
This is what I'm saying.
probably shouldn't have.
This is well, right, but you didn't because you didn't want to make them feel bad.
Could be.
So the first person you need to unload all of your resentment onto is your therapist. And I don't see any way to avoid that. I think that if you're this angry, I see you as a very
I'm not
angry.
angry.
I see you
Wow.
as a enraged person.
Okay. I don't feel angry, but I will take
I
your word
know.
that I might be secretly angry.
Yeah, and I think that your disappointment first needs to be taken out on a therapist. And when they're boring, you got to tell them that they're boring, and that's going to be really hard for you to do. But I think that's a great like safe space to practice telling somebody that you can't fucking stand them, and that you
You want
think
me to
they
take it
suck
out
at
on
their.
you?
You think they're. Do I want you to take it out on me?
Make some good content.
Um, sure you can. Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
The thing is, I don't want to establish that level of intimacy. So
Yeah.
I'm open to critique and I'm open to feedback, but I can't sit here and tell you like I can hold all of your hostility and still provide a warm, safe space for you because it's not therapy. I think you need to do it with a therapist.
Yeah, you're probably right.
This time I'm positive I'm right.
Okay. Back to therapy.
Yeah, but tell them what you think of their relationship with them. I
Yeah.
think that's the thing that you're missing. Do not Your therapist should be having a pretty bad time, I think, with someone like you. It should be like you gotta watch that you're not people pleasing them, because they'll let you do that because they're human. Like anybody will let you say like, oh, I had a breakthrough, this is so amazing, thank you so much, and then they're going to be like, oh well, that was great, I did my job. Like that's what they're trying to do. So if you tell them they did it, then it's going to be hard for them to be like, no, no, actually I think you have more to say. It's going to be hard. So I think you got to be really vigilant.
Actually sounds kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be awful on one level, but yeah, I mean, you're calling because you want to get out of the cage, so I'm sure on some level it will be fun.
I hope so. Listen, man, this is some real shit that you're doing here. This is by far the most interesting thing on Twitch.
Thank you. We don't always
Thanks a
have to
lot.
be interesting, though.
No.
Don't forget that.
Okay. Thanks, buddy.
You're
Take care.
welcome. You too. Okay, chat. I'm gonna ask you. Do you want to do one more caller, or do you want to go through this? I have to go in 25 minutes, so we could do one more caller, or we could read the Healthy Gamer letter. The Healthy Gamer internal email. Fuck. Email, one more email, one more caller, email. Oh, fuck. Wait, no. Wow. Do a poll? How do you do a poll? Why not both? I don't have time for both. Stream manager. Manage poll? Create a new poll. Question. Email or caller? Responses. Email, caller. Duration, 1 minute. Start poll. View results. 95% email. Ooh, wow. This email, I think we're doing an email, guys. You caller fucks better did not show up to the polls this year. Oh my god. It's like 50-50? No, I'm seeing 87% email. You love drama. There is no poll. Stop the count. Wait, what was the other one? Stop the count, and then what was it after? Release the, find the, stop the steal. Wasn't there another one that was the opposite thing? Recount, like, wasn't there a find the votes, stop the count, count the votes? Email 81%. Okay. All right, guys. Baby, that's it for the calls today. And we will now move on to this email. I'm going to... should I put it on screen? Okay, I'm going to put it in a twit longer. Then I'm going to close my sensitive information. Twit longer. Internal Healthy Gamer email regarding Mr. Girl. Okay. And I'm going to post it. The action request is not allowed. God damn it. I think I have fucked something up. Post it. Nice. There's fucking ads. Jesus Christ. Okay. Now I'm going to... Should I just read it? I'll just read it. I won't put it on screen. All right, ready? Hi, team. You may have been made aware of a critic. You know what? I'm going to tweet it out and then... Wait, how do I tweet it? Do I just tweet the link? Have you guys ever used this shit before? Oh, did it go out on my Twitter? Yes, great. Okay. Okay. Hi, team. You may have been made aware of a critic of Healthy Gamer, and more recently, a stream done with a Healthy Gamer coach. Want to make sure you're all in the loop as you may see some comments arise. A few thoughts below. I want to see if maybe they'll make me a spokesperson if I do a good job at reading this. TLDR, I continue to stand by our ethics, mission, and people as we continue to do what's right by our community and build experiences that inspire mental health journeys all over the internet. We'd rather take constructive feedback from our coaches and clients than engage in malicious claims. Okay, so they're calling me malicious. Oh, there's an ad. Stop. Okay. Tell me when to start. Why are your earbuds black? I thought white would stick out too much. Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready for me to start? No. They emailed. This is an internal Healthy Gamer email to all their coaches. Start over. Okay. Are you ready? Ads are done. All right, here we go. Hi, team. You may have been made aware of a critic of Healthy Gamer, and more recently a stream done with a Healthy Gamer coach. Want to make sure you're all in the loop as you may see comments arise. A few thoughts below. TLDR, I continue to stand by our ethics, mission, and people as we continue to do what's right by our community and build experiences that inspire mental health journeys all over the internet. We'd rather take constructive feedback from our coaches and clients than engage in malicious claims. If you have any concerns, we are always open to meeting with you. I have concerns, and I asked you to meet, and you didn't meet with me. Also, they're calling me malicious. I don't think I'm malicious. I'm just extremely angry. To more AoE healing, Krudi and Alak. On criticism. Healthy Gamer is open to criticism, and in fact, appreciates it. We create avenues for constructive criticism from Healthy Gamer clients after every session in the PSF, through case reviews, office hours, and through our customer support staff, where clients can share their concerns. The criticisms that we care about are from the people we are trying to help. Full stop. Well, I'm a gamer, so you are trying to help me. I am the people you're trying to help. If by that you mean paying customers, you're saying I gotta pay you to fucking take my concerns? Fuck you. It can be very tempting to defend ourselves against allegations and criticisms. The more outrageous, the more tempting. Some critics simply cannot be healthily engaged with. Ad hominem. Ad hominem. You're saying that I'm unhealthy? I'm too fucked up to talk to? I need some coaching before you can fucking healthily talk to me? You can get off neutrally at best. Okay, I know a PR person. This is I believe this is actually truly written by Dr. K or his wife, because no PR person is going to say you can get off neutrally at best. Well, I don't want to get off neutrally. I want to get off angrily. Defending can sometimes be about our own ego, wanting to be validated and assure people that we do meaningful work. But this makes it about us, which is not where the focus should be. If people have criticism, the right way for us to handle it is to consider it seriously and implement changes to help our clients, not defend our public image. Impact, not image. Well, then why are you writing this email threatening? Basically, this email is just threatening to fire your coaches if they talk about you in public. So if it's impact, not image, then why are you threatening to fire Josh for talking to me, huh? There's no reason to fire him if it's not about image. Across Healthy Gamer content, coaching, and community, we, now more than 100 of us, have inspired mental health journeys all over the internet. Didn't you already say that? Inspire mental health journeys all over the internet. You already said that. This is real. And no amount of YouTube investigation will change that. We'll fucking see about that. Won't we? Also, it's not just YouTube investigation. By the time you wrote this, you already knew I reported you to the Boston Medical Board. You know that. Anyway, we'll see. Or maybe you mean to say that some ethics board investigation might change that. It is possible because of all the work that you do and the ethos with which you do it. As a result, we've had immense impact on our community and our clients. This is the most important thing. Healthy Gamer isn't about Dr. K or a single person. It's about the collective work we do to advance the mental health needs of the people we serve. We're grateful our coaches operate with a strong moral compass and that you advocate for what's best for your clients in the community. Frankly, we wouldn't want it any other way. If you have any concerns, I'm here and available to chat. I do have concerns. And you're not available to chat. I reported him. Yeah, I reported him. That's on my Twitter too. Oh, we're not even fucking. We're not even getting. We're. This is the preamble. Mr. Girl, this is a cringe crusade. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see who cringes in the end. I don't even know what that means. How did I get a hold of this? Multiple Healthy Gamer coaches. I'm in touch with like 3. I'm in touch with like 5% of the whole staff. They just can't get enough of talking to me. Okay. Where we go from here. 1. There are 5 steps to where we go from here, and then that's the end of the email. Jealousy is not a good look. What do you think I'm jealous of? Exactly. You think I want to knock him out and set up Mr. Girl coaching? You want to be my coach? The Departed, exactly. It's like that scene in The Departed. Dr. K, I look at myself, I look at my life, and I think I could be you. But I don't want to be you. Okay, number 1. We are taking this opportunity to ensure that all Healthy Gamer coaches have avenues on top of DMs, ticketing, and other measures to express any concerns, and all of our messaging aligns accordingly. To express any concerns and all our messaging aligns accordingly. Or you're saying that you're taking the opportunity to ensure that your messaging aligns accordingly. Because it's not about image. You need to make sure everybody's saying the same thing, but it's not about image. Also, he's expressing his concerns to the public. You think that? Do you think that your coaches are coming to me to broadcast their concerns live on Twitch? Oh, also, I've had another coach ask me, or I'm at least 2 coaches asking me to talk to me. I think I might be at 3. You're saying they're doing this because they want to talk to you about their concerns to you, but they just weren't sure of the right avenue. They didn't know your email address, so they just decided to come on Mr. Girl's Twitch stream. For example, we've been in the process of evaluating various third-party ethics hotline services. so that anyone in the Healthy Gamer community, including clients, coaches, employees, and community members, have an anonymous place to document and voice concerns. For example, we've been in the process of evaluating. I would probably wait to write this email to say, wow, it looks like some of you guys have ethical concerns and we've created this system and here it is and it's live. Click this link if you have some concern you want to address. Okay, well, to all Healthy Gamer coaches, until they set this up, you know where to go to voice your concerns. Shoot me an email or a DM and you're welcome to come on and let us all know what's going on. Community members have an anonymous place to document and voice concerns. We look forward to sharing this and hope to have our partnership secured and ready to share in the coming weeks. 2, generally speaking, engaging directly with public critics has its risk. Even if you speak well for 1 hour and misspeak once, say something that can be taken out of context, then that is what will be clipped and shipped. Furthermore, some people are professionals at causing people to trip up. Well, thank you. This giving them, thus, I think you meant, thus giving them opportunities to clip and increase views. Recent media appearances from the mods of Anti-Work exemplify this point. Even if you think you're doing a good job, you're playing a game that without formal PR media training, you may not know the rules. Therefore, we advise but do not prohibit that you don't participate. Okay, so you are not prohibited from coming on the stream. Great. Number 3. While the company does... Well, let's see how many chat we need to talk about. That's a blatant accusation of malicious manipulation. Yeah, I know. What did I clip and ship? This motherfucker spoke pretty well, I thought. So that dude definitely got fired. Well, if he gets fired and he wants to come back, then we'll have him back on. We'll do a stream to find him a job. Basically saying you're a fucking idiot if you go on there. No, actually they're saying just accept that you're a fucking idiot. You're not smart enough to talk to Mr. Girl. I mean, you don't have to be that smart to talk to me. I'm not trying to trip you up, and I probably wouldn't be that good at it if I were. I'm an open book, guys. 3. While the company does not condone the manner in which the concerns were addressed and could be in violation of our policies, that's the threat. You said you don't prohibit it, but we might fire you. So what the fuck does that mean? Oh, this is Mrs. K, by the way, writing this. I'd be remiss to not recognize some of the areas that were handled well on the coach's part. There are no incentives for coaches to hold on to clients for longer than clients want to stay. No perverse incentives for coaches to hold on to a client who would be better off in therapy, extend unnecessarily, or to sell our services in any way. We have escalation protocols for when a client is not an appropriate fit for subclinical support and needs licensed or urgent help. You know, I don't think Recful was a appropriate fit for subclinical support, and I think he needed licensed and urgent help. And I didn't... So far, I've not seen any evidence that anything beyond subclinical support was provided to him, even though it was provided by a clinician who was not providing clinical support, and then he fucking killed himself. But other than that, yeah, the escalation protocols, that sounds really good. Please tell me more. Coaches have the ability to drop clients who do not seek clinical support or who are otherwise inappropriate for coaching. There is no messaging internally or externally that would suggest coaches should try to handle clinical issues. Well, the website says that you decrease depression and anxiety. So you're saying non-clinical depression and non-clinical anxiety. All right. Are you sure you are familiar with the Recful situation? I'm intimately familiar with the Recful situation, yeah. Aren't they kind of right from their POV? Like, imagine if they're in the right about the ethics stuff and this is the message they send. Seems like it's kind of run-of-the-mill. Yeah. This is pretty run-of-the-mill. I agree. From your perspective, what do you think Dr. K's motivation is? You're implying this is for financial gain, but for psychiatrists make bank. He's likely taking a huge pay cut by focusing on healthy gamer. You're deluded if you think he's making less money than a psychiatrist. No, he's making hundreds, just off the Twitch streams and YouTube streams alone. He's probably making $200,000 to $300,000 a year. And that's conservative. They've got a partnership with Twitch. No. No. He's making more money than a psychiatrist for sure. That said, but he's making a shitload of money. Do not bring money into this. However, what is Dr. K's motivation? Probably to help people, to help gamers, and to do so in the way he can and in a way that's affordable and with less red tape than there would be for him to open like an actual like psychiatry practice with a lot of psychiatrists. To like, I think he wants to help people who not necessarily ready to fork over the kind of money that you would need to in order to get clinical help. And I don't think his motivations are bad. I just think he's in deep denial about who he is and what he's actually doing and what the effect of his actions are. But his conscious motivations are good. The things he does are highly unethical and pretty ugly and unhelpful to my mind. You're saying Dr. K played a hand in Reckful suicide. I'm saying that he had a client who needed clinical help. He did not provide clinical help, to my knowledge or to anyone else's knowledge, and that client or patient / non-patient with whom he broke multiple ethics rules ended up killing himself. So I'm saying this email is a bit dishonest in ignoring the fact that most of my criticism of Dr. K is about how he handled Reckful and how his handling of that certainly did not prevent Reckful suicide, and the fact that he broke so many ethics rules along the way is deeply disturbing to me, and that's what I reported him to the ethics board for. And so the idea that like my critic of healthy gamer, that I'm a critic of healthy gamer because I think their coaching is problematic, like that's maybe 1% of my criticism. And I think in that stream, the healthy gamer coach convinced all of us that there's nothing really untoward or too unethical happening. It just seems like a bit of a less than ideal situation, and like advertising that you help with clinical problems like anxiety and depression or mental health problems, and then saying this is not therapy. It just seems like a gray area designed to rip people off. But like, so are fucking vitamin companies. Like it's not what they're doing, I think, is wrong, but it's not that wrong. What's really wrong is Dr. K doing therapy and calling it not therapy, and then doing not therapy and calling it therapy, and get all these confusing relationships. And one of those relationships ended with somebody fucking dying. And I've not heard him express an ounce of remorse or regret or contrition for that at all, probably out of self-protection and self-preservation, which is an understandable motivation. Again, he's not evil, but I think it's wrong. And I think he needs to be held to account. And I am going to do that. Healthy Horses GG. Is the goal of the critique to have Healthy Gamer become a better organization, to spread awareness, or to have the company tank? I don't have a goal with regard to Healthy Gamer. I think Dr. K should be stripped of his credentials, but I can't do that myself. If I could, I would just rip his diploma up myself, but I can't. Nor should I be able to, because I am a layperson. I don't actually know. But I want to find people who do know and have them make the decision. And I want people to see what I see when I look at Dr. K, and I want them to feel what I feel. And it is not a good feeling, and it is not a pretty sight. I don't want to replace what you see with what I see. I just want you to understand what I see. I want to paint a picture, and I want you to look at it. I don't have any goals beyond that. I'm not trying to destroy the organization. I think gamers are a group that are very unlikely to seek help, and Dr. K is right in that. And I think providing them an avenue to seek help is a good thing. I just don't think the help he's providing, certainly the way he advertised. 99% of my problems with Dr. K. I'll put it all in the video, okay? My thoughts are a little disorganized right now. This email is making me very angry, as you can probably tell. You seem rightfully angry at this mocking with vengeance, though, but this sloppy copy does not show their clear-eyed approach to at least not being pathetic. I don't know what that means. I might be too angry to know what you're talking about. Okay, ready? 4. 4 out of 5. We're almost there. All messaging and practices are currently under review as standard practice. Again, as an opportunity to self-reflect, we will make adjustments to make sure everything is clear. As we continue to audit, please bring anything you think needs a second look to my and Megan's attention. What does that mean? Like stuff on the website that needs a second look? I already screen capped the website. It's too late. Or are you talking about second look like other healthy gamer coaches talking that smack? What is Mr. Girl reading? I'm reading an internal email sent to all healthy gamer coaches about me. Do you think it's possible to achieve Dr. K's goals in a responsible way? Yes, absolutely. I think you can make all kinds of videos that show people the benefit of therapy without doing pseudo fake therapy in front of people. I think what Dr. K is doing is making commercials for his website that involve exploiting people, especially mentally ill, vulnerable people such as Rekful, exploiting them and their vulnerability and their lack of understanding of the ethics and the complications around the situations they're getting themselves into, to sell something that isn't even therapy. It's a fucking mess. There is a way to help gamers that does not involve lying to them about what therapy is to sell them coaching. Absolutely. I don't think what he's doing is that good for anyone. I think most of what he's doing is bad. It just feels good. Look, therapy is not fun. It doesn't make you feel good. So when you see people saying like, "Oh my gosh, that was so amazing. Wow, after only 1 hour talking to Dr. K, I'm a whole person." That's bullshit. That's not what therapy is like. Therapy is boring and slow and dull and sad and pathetic. It's like climbing up a fucking muddy hill. It's terrible and it takes years. It involves the slow development of a complicated, like, awful relationship that's just like confusing and it's messy. It is not like some guy telling you some fucking new Indian words you never knew before and then telling you you just got to breathe weird for a while and then your life will be better. No, that's not therapy. That's a fucking parlor trick. And it feels good. If it feels good that fast, it's not therapy. Therapy has all kinds of feelings. There's no room for the complexities and the vulnerability and the safety and the boundary testing and all the stuff that needs to go into therapy. There's no room for any of that in what Dr. K is doing. In meditation, you don't meditate in front of 1,000 fucking people or 10,000 people saying mean shit to you, making fun of your fucking hair and body and telling you you're boring and coming in and out and throwing money at you. Streamers, it's stripping. I'm a stripper. You don't fucking meditate on stage when you're working a strip club. No. All of it is wrong. It's all wrong and it's all bad. Dr. K is all bad. Now, is there a place in the world for healthy gamer coaching? The organization and the coaching part? Yes. Again, 99% of my problem is with Dr. K, not healthy gamer as an organization. So what's a bit dishonest about this whole thing is pretending that the stream with the Healthy Gamer coach, part of it was about Healthy Gamer because that's what he knows about, but clearly was couched in I have massive problems with Dr. K and how he handles his interviews, specifically Reckful, and the guy died, and you're not addressing that, and you're burying it once again, and trying to clear your name, trying to keep that blood off your fucking name once again by pretending that didn't even come up in the discussion. I understand this is a corporate email, so of course you're not going to actually address anything, but it does piss me off. The least you could do is not abandon the guy after he's dead. I don't think you distancing yourself from this is a good look. You a crybaby bitch. I'm emotional. Yeah. I am a crybaby bitch. Did you see Dr. K react to him dying on stream? Yeah, I did. I didn't see him take responsibility for anything he did, though. I don't want him to take responsibility for him dying, but he should take responsibility for the gross errors he made in his treatment / exploitation. No, I'm not satisfied. And I will not be satisfied until he accounts for this. Number 5, finally, if you have any questions about what is or isn't considered a policy violation in the realm of media, posting, etc., please reach out to the admin team and we'll be glad to help provide clarity. If you need any guidance at all navigating this, just reach out. Kruti Kanogia, CEO, Healthy Gamer. Is there any way I can talk to you about this? You're always welcome to DM me on Twitter, and you're always welcome to post in the Discord. Maybe mean to talk on like a call, unless you work for Healthy Gamer. Yeah, go get a job as a Healthy Gamer coach, and then we can talk. You come at the K, you best not miss. I won't miss. Is the video going to be called the Dr. K narrative? And how long do you think it'll be? No. I don't know what it's going to be called. I think it will be either one video that's like, I don't know, probably pretty long. I want to be pretty careful. And it depends on how many interviews with experts I get. So I want to cancel him? No. I don't know what cancel means. I want him to not use his credentials irresponsibly and unethically in ways that are actively harming vulnerable people. I want him to lose those credentials because he did that. If that's cancellation, then sure, I want to cancel him. I don't want him to be banned from any platform. Do I? No. He's not breaking TOS, and I don't think there should be. He's breaking the terms of service of being a therapist, so I don't want him to be a therapist anymore. I want him to be therapist canceled. I am not associated with Healthy GG. Yeah, I figured. So no, I don't do private conversations with people. But you can write me. Why won't Dr. K talk to Mr. Girl? Because I'm going to bring up shit he doesn't want to talk about. Did you report Dr. K to the medical board? Yes, and I'm reporting him to the Massachusetts Psychiatric Society tomorrow. If they... We're playing phone tag, but yeah, I'm in touch with them. Oh, did I already read your dono? No, I got so angry that I forgot to read the donos. Let me get that. Okay. Have I talked to Reckful's family members? No, I haven't. I don't. If they want to reach out to me, I would be happy to talk to them. I'm not trying to bring this shit up for them. The only people I've talked to are people who I needed information from for their report, not because not to interview people about like their feelings and stuff. Okay. We've got 3 donations from Lithic Disciple, $5. See you later tonight on Omegle. I'll see you there. Mike Ross, 84, gave me $10. I have one question. In 2009, while deployed to Iraq, a friend of mine committed self-extermination. The day before he said he was going to laughingly, I told him not to joke about that. I feel really bad. How can I deal with that? The hardest parts, I think, of suicide is anger at the person who put you through that. It's really hard to be angry at somebody who's dead, who's gone, and who was so hurt and sad. But I think that can really stick with you. But yeah, you see the answer in the chat. It's to go to therapy. You know that you need to go to therapy. But there's feelings that are probably caused by it that are hard to see because you really don't want to be feeling them. But therapy. So if he gave up his license, is that what you want? Also, as far as Reckful goes, I think his own family has no beef with Dr. K. Well, yeah, they had no beef with him because they didn't know that I believe they did not know that he was involved in these last minute decisions about Reckful's life. Maybe they do know, but based on Slush's documentary that I saw, it doesn't seem like they were aware of that. Maybe they did. I don't know. I don't really want to talk about Reckful's family because it's just not related to. I wish I hadn't answered that. It's not related to what I'm talking about. How people feel about it doesn't matter. He broke the rules, like objectively violated ethics. So it doesn't matter who has a problem with him or not. I don't care if everybody thinks he's the most helpful person on earth or if everybody thinks he's the devil. It really has no bearing on my personal problems with what he's done. And it's not going to have no bearing on the ethics board's evaluation of what he's done. He broke the rules. That's it. It doesn't matter if he managed to charm everybody while he did it. Can you define which ethics were broken? I can tell you the first rule in the ethics, like the cardinal rule of therapy, is you have to clearly define a therapy relationship. Here, I'll read you a quote. Or I'll put it in the chat. You broke this rule. This is from the APA commentary on ethics and practice. This is the first thing that they talk about. And it's not going to be immediately obvious to you why this is so important, and I will have to address that in my video, and I'll have to get some experts to explain it. The physician-patient relationship is a collaborative endeavor between two autonomous individuals who establish the professional relationship for the benefit of the patient. Every effort should be made to have the relationship begin by mutual consent. Psychiatrists should be cautious in interactions with persons who are not or not yet patients to avoid rendering input, advice, or other suggestions that might lead to the assumption or expectation that a treatment relationship has begun. Now, you might not think that's a good rule. You might not understand why that's a good rule, but I don't think any of us can, with a straight face, deny that he shattered that rule. And from that spring forth lots of other problems, and there are other rules as well. But this is very, very serious. to me, I think. Again, if the ethics board disagrees with you, would you back off? I would back off of the claims that he violated the ethics. Yes. I would not back off of calling him a bad therapist and a charlatan. But I would back off. Yeah, for sure. I will acknowledge that I'm wrong. Maybe. I might just think they're wrong. It will definitely change my stance. My stance right now is that any professional worth their salt is going to see that this is extremely problematic. I don't know if they will think it rises to the level of stripping him of his title, and I don't know. Yeah, but it will change my feelings for sure. I sent a follow-up. Don't know as a clarifying statement. Question. Okay. Oh, we've got a bunch more. Well, the reason he did it, I guess, is the hurtful part. He was sending money to his sister for college, but his parents were taking it. So he did it to give his sister his death fund. I felt bad I didn't try to stop him or think he was more serious. I would say that we have a tendency to oversimplify the reasons that people commit suicide. So that might be why he said he did it or why you think he did it, but it's probably more complicated and you got to go to therapy. That's all I've got to say about it. Ad Bullock gave me $100. You're inspirational. Keep up the good work, boss. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Username gave me $5. Without compromising sources, are you 1000% that the email is legit? Sorry if already asked. Yeah. I mean, it would need to be a coordinated effort between multiple people to deceive me. Which I don't think is occurring. iCamp gave me $5. Thanks for your input on my situation about the 4-date girl. Sorry